Come here. Come here. Come on
You
up.
come up here.
Come on up. Come here. Come on, all the way up. Come on, do it. Come on up. Come on, up. Come here. Up here. Come on, do it. Get up here.
He's
Come
too
on.
smart for this
Come
time.
on. You got it. You got it. Come on.
But he knows.
All the way up.
He knows in his dog
Good
soul
boy.
that this is a bit
Good
now.
boy. It's a
He's
bit.
on to the bit.
Good job today. Well, I'm really proud of you.
He still listened, though, because he's a good boy.
Yeah, he's a good boy.
Wait, you're an asshole, but you're a good boy.
Why don't you stay for a little bit this time?
He's staying so far. Welcome to
Kinda
Input
sleepy.
Output.
Welcome to Input Output. You know.
Here we are.
You know the drill. You know
It's
the drill.
This week.
This week.
Yep.
Nuggets. And there he goes.
I almost thought we would get a little bit more that time.
That's where we both went wrong. Yeah. So, all right, let's talk.
Let's talk about this week.
This week, what's going on? Okay. All right. Good start.
Yeah.
Let's, all right, let me tell, I got two things this week.
Okay.
One of them is, I'm going to give just like a short list of favorite YouTube channels that, that are like, consistent, YouTube in my rotation that I enjoy.
This man loves YouTube.
Listen.
But he's got some good recommendations for you.
Yeah, I go down many a rabbit hole in this here life.
Yep.
And YouTube's a good source for that. I think I have no idea what the average person is watching on YouTube because I will seek out the most specific things for me that I'm interested in, which can be very disparate.
Yep.
So,
as you're about to find out.
And this list will be potentially really useful to you or strange. Either way. But the other thing is a story from today.
Okay.
I was really interested. So I've been putting together this retro gaming room. It's like a basement room.
You can see you can see shots of it in our full episodes of Divergency.
Yeah, the first episode especially, I do a segment that's in that room. But I've been working on it for like a year now, kind of deliberately. And it's long story short, it's basically like a nostalgia room for me. It's like the room that I could have never had or afforded when I was a kid, that some of the people I knew had these kinds of Midwestern game room basements.
Yeah.
If you live in the Midwest at all, you know exactly what I'm talking about. If you don't, imagine just like
decked out basements because
you have to make use of the space, especially in winter. They stay cool during the summer. Basements are a thing.
I think that those kinds of basements are a more geographically widespread thing.
No. I understand.
No, I'm saying they are very Midwestern. But
Yes,
I had a friend in high school in Virginia who had a decked out basement with a pool table and an entertainment center and a bar and
that whole gig. Around here, it's like pretty ubiquitous.
Yeah.
I mean, if you could afford it, you had a basement bar that probably had a pool table, and if you were of my generation, probably had a big TV with a bunch of video games. So, long story short, I've been kind of like putting together this ideal. We don't have enough space. The way this house is arranged, unless we knocked walls out, we don't have that like big gaping space where I could have a pool table. That's my only bummer. But I have been like really hitting the retro gaming like ideal museum space for no good reason. But I've been hitting that really hard. So the number one thing I was trying to acquire is it's really hard to find a big, good condition CRT television, because the big ones that are HD, meaning 16:9, like widescreen, they have all these problems because it's like early scaling technology. And so
totally
you could listen, hold on, stay with me. You plug in different things, Nintendo, Chromecast, they don't talk to this thing the same way. So old video games don't work on them, whatever. But there's this one brand, this one CRT that Panasonic made, the Tau brand, that was a big, huge HD CRT beautiful picture, and it like switches resolution so it doesn't do any scaling, so you can play every game. You can use light guns on it, which those of you that don't know anything about CRTs don't know, but you like actually need a CRT with no lag to play like the zapper and stuff. Not that important, but the point is it's the holy grail CRT. It's very hard to find. I found one in Oshkosh, Wisconsin.
Oshkosh Bagosh.
Oshkosh Bagosh. If you've never heard that, it was usually
popular
overalls.
in the 90s. Yeah,
was it
80s
just
and
popular?
90s.
Just was it just popular? I don't know what that means. Was it just popular generally?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought that was just like, wow. So they had national reach. Oshkosh.
I knew Oshkosh.
Anyways, yes, Oshkosh, which is just a little bit north of here, like an hour away. So I convinced my buddy Kurt, shout out Kurt, to do something stupid with me, which is to go out there and pick up this huge TV. And I was working so hard to get a hold of this TV, but I was talking to some dude on Facebook Marketplace, not Facebook, because Facebook, but Marketplace.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same thing.
I know, but there's like, people don't use Craigslist. Anyways,
yeah.
But this guy was like so old, and he just like couldn't figure out how to just verify plans on Facebook, and I went round and round. You know what I mean? He was just like, I was like, all right, dude, I'm coming. At 1, it's a drive. I'm bringing a friend. Nothing. The next day, much later than we decided, hey, here's my address. I'm like, old guy, that's too late.
Yeah.
But anyways, it all happened. We went today. Today we drove, and then we got there, and they're old. Yeah. He was a plumber. He laid all the copper in Oshkosh, he told me. Good guy, though. Nice guy, just really old. And he was like, all right, come check out the TV downstairs. And I was like, oh no. Because if anybody knows anything about these TVs, they are
heavy.
So heavy. You don't even, like, if you haven't moved a 32 plus inch CRT ever or lately, they're just like a whole solid piece of glass. Yeah. They're so heavy, dude.
Yep. I know, because I've moved CRTs now.
She has. She is deceptively strong and willing to help me with CRTs, which, if anything...
Begrudgingly willing, but willing nonetheless.
Yeah, no, there's you're begrudging about it, but I can't, what do I expect her to be like, yeah, let's do it. So anyways, much appreciated. So anyways, I'm like, I do this thing, especially as I've gotten older, where, you know, certainly when I started getting hurt regularly in my early 30s, like, I was like, oh man, you got to stop acting like you can do the same things you could do in your 20s. Yeah. And I feel like I've learned some lessons, but I still have that problem. And it's much later in my life now. And so he said it was downstairs, and I was like, oh man, if my wife knew that I was going to try to carry this thing upstairs, she'd kill me, because I would definitely hurt my back. But I went downstairs and I looked at it, and I think my friend and I are similar in the way that we were like, you know what, we ball. Let's pick this TV up and go. Sometimes these basement staircases are like 50-degree angles. They're not like gradual inclines.
Yeah,
like
steep ass
stairs. And we did it. We lifted. We got a good grip. We lifted properly. Oh God. Well, hold on. And my mid backs. It's okay. I did okay. We did smart. But we got to the top of the stairs, and I had to set that thing down and like take a legit knee. Like I mean, it was like in football practice. Like I had to take a knee and be like, if I go anymore, I'm gonna throw up. Like,
and be like, I do not agree with the amount of energy I just.
Yeah, my body was like, no. What? I know you did this properly, but do not do this anymore. But I did. I took a knee. I talked to this old guy and his wife for a while, because this is what you do in the Midwest. You just like, I found out a lot of stuff, you know? And after like 10 minutes or something, I was like, okay, I have just enough energy now to pick it back up and go to the car. Picked it up, went to the car.
I mean,
drove
shot
back.
For shot here.
Yeah.
for moments.
Got back, and
yeah.
It's all it's cracked up to be. It's
So
a
it was
beautiful.
all worth it.
I'm sure I'll show it on something because it's just watching things at that resolution on a big CRT is somehow nostalgic.
Yeah.
But also better than I ever. I mean, this TV was literally $5,000 when it was new.
It's so crazy. We were
got
talking
for
about
$50,
that. Yeah.
but.
Imagine people paying that much money for a TV.
For a TV now. With inflation, it'd be like an $8,000 TV. People would be like, I guess I don't watch TV.
It's how many inches?
34.
Yeah. Would you pay $8,000
for
a
a 34-inch
TV?
Which seems so small to us now.
Yeah. No.
But anyways, so that was crazy.
Yeah.
And I'm so silly for doing it, but I had the day off to do it, so I did it. And
he had the day off today. Yeah.
all right. That's nice. Do you have anything that make you think of anything?
I thought of one thing while you were talking that I'm just going to comment on really quickly, which is that I really love the way that you refer to me as your wife all the time, like Borat. It starts to feel a little bit like in a loving way, like a Borat thing. I feel like you say my wife more than anyone else I know.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, so that's embarrassing for me. but let me say this. I don't. It's
no,
weird to say your
you
name.
mean it so lovingly. Yeah, that's what. That's
my partner.
No. But it's
my great love.
Yeah. When it
occurred
to me is when you were sitting here telling them about how you thought my wife is gonna kill me, but I'm sitting right here. Yeah. I guess I expect you to say my name, but then you say my wife, and that's why it makes me think of Borat.
Yeah.
Again, in an affectionate way.
Do you like how I resisted the urge to do a Borat impression? I didn't do it.
Should we not? Should we?
No, we shouldn't. We should let everyone else think
Okay,
it, because everyone's overheard.
Will there be any kind of like psychological lack of closure if we don't do a Borat impression?
Let's find out. We'll let you know next week if we like.
It's just like
throughout the whole
week. To
week.
not get the Borat impression after you talk about him saying my wife.
We're gonna do experiment.
All right.
Report
back. Does it leave you with a psychological lack of closure?
Not hearing it.
Hear
did you do it? And did you do it out loud or in your head?
Did you do it out loud? Yeah.
Because that's fine.
And then wait.
Oh yeah, you had some.
I have something
good
to talk about.
Oh my god, I'm so happy.
It's a dumb thing. I'm not going to talk about it for very long, but I am going to talk about it. This week, I've been trying to learn how to take better care of my hair. I've been trying to figure out how to do what they call protective hairstyles, which is this kind of thing that keeps your hair from...
This kind of thing.
Like rubbing
Breaking
on a bunch of stuff.
Yeah,
getting dry and stuff.
And?
So I've been practicing braiding, and I had to watch a lot of YouTube videos.
Yeah.
He caught me just like watching videos of people braiding hair because I just wanted to watch.
She'll just go silent when she when I'm going down a rabbit hole. I'll narrate it all. Surprise.
No, not me. Mm-mm.
And she'll just go dead silent. So I'm like, oh my god, I should check in. No. And she's just like
watching video after video of people braid their own hair.
Yeah.
You gotta have good fine motor skills. Yeah. I'm looking forward to practicing. I know how to do a basic braid, but everything else is really hard.
It's like one of those cultural things that usually it's passed down through generations. Yeah. So there's like people who braid their hair like so amazing, and you're like, how would you do that? Well, I've been doing it since I was 4.
Yeah. Taught them.
Because it's one of those cool things actually that really spreads across almost every culture you can think of. You know, there's like really ornate hair braiding in all kinds of different cultures, and it really does require practice. I mean, it's, you know, even doing stuff that I've had to do, like theater stuff in the past, any hair stuff, I'm just always like, this is legit specialty stuff, you know?
Yeah. I can usually accidentally stumble my way into kind of pulling off a hair thing that I try.
Yeah.
I would actually say I'm not easily impressed with myself.
You're a harsh critic.
But my ability to pull off a Target hairstyle, I think, is actually relatively high for someone who literally does all with their hair on a regular basis. Like, when I try and do
lucky you're capable,
I am winging it to the max. I'm like, here's hoping, but I guess I can mimic things close enough that I can get, like, kind of in the ballpark where it, like, feels right.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you're pretty good at that.
Anyway, that's what I've been thinking about this week.
I think it's cute. I like it.
Yeah. He's like, man, my wife looks so good in braids.
My wife looks so good in braids, which is a thought I never thought I would have. Because I don't really give a shit.
Yeah.
But, you know.
I know.
But I like it, yeah.
All right.
Oh,
Back
yeah.
to you in the studio.
Back to me. Oh, the pressure.
I'm like the satellite weather reporter.
And back to the front desk. So here's just a list of. We'll talk. You're familiar with some of these.
As I see fit.
They're all very different. So I'm just gonna kind of go down the list. The first one that we both watch quite regularly is Dave Howlewitt's music channel.
Mm-hmm.
And it's hard to describe. So basically, it's clearly someone, he feels like someone who's studied music. Isn't just a musician, but I think he's like a music professor, something of that nature.
He's like...
You never know what the fuck a YouTube person
at this point,
does.
He's like a music historian and an expert, like, sample maker.
He makes amazing sample libraries.
He plays the guitar and piano and
he plays
everything.
Yeah.
He makes music for all his episodes.
Between our age-ish, would you say?
I don't know.
Who gives a shit? Anyways, so one thing he specializes in that's really cool is he'll take apart and sort of examine how
like really
vintage
old
instruments are made. So if it's like, it could be anything from a mandolin to a kid's synthesizer. Actually, we bought this.
Oh no.
Because it was one of his episodes, and it seems so silly because it's like this little kids thing, but it makes it has like a audio output, and it actually has like a basic synthesizer in it that's really cool. Anyways, that's neither here nor there. The point is, his videos, they're like explorations of the technology and the music and the time period. So like, I think what you said about him being kind of like a retro music instrument historian is pretty accurate. So he's really fun. Check him out if you like.
His videos are very soothing. They're
very chill.
They're informative. You learn about some cool weird thing from the past.
Everyone overuses ASMR, so they're not that so much as like aesthetically.
The music is pleasing. His tone of voice is calming.
He's just like,
it's not an in-your-face kind of thing. Yeah.
And I tore it apart, and we're going to do it. So that's fun. The other one that I watch a lot, this is a video game one. There's so many to pick from. I was really trying to pick, like, maybe ones you haven't heard of. There's this Irish guy, Sean Johnson. It doesn't matter that he's Irish. He just is Irish. And he does these incredible deep dives into the PlayStation 1 library, which, let me explain context of why that's interesting. If you're like, who gives a shit about that? I just assume no one cares about any of this stuff but me. But people clearly do. PlayStation, when they entered the mix with Nintendo and Sega, the PlayStation sort of goal was that they were going to... every publisher had access. So like the PlayStation 1 library is so weirdly diverse. It's massive. And it has like every publisher working for it. So the variety is just insane as in terms of a retro console. But it's also one of the first 3D consoles. So it's got some really like janky stuff, but like famous franchises like, like Final Fantasy VII and Silent Hill 2 and just like Silent Hill. Anyways, there's a million. I don't know why I listed two, but there's a ton. And what Sean Johnson does is PlayStation also has like this huge Japanese library that never, because it was so early in that like video game relationship, that like a lot of games just stayed in Japan. They were never translated and supported here. But what he does is he goes over like obscure PlayStation games. We're talking thousands of games in this library, by the way. You wouldn't have played them all. Japanese games that have fan translations where they literally go into the coding and translate it into English. So you can play Japanese exclusive games. There's this one game, Mitsurna Falls, which is like a Twin Peaks ripoff Japanese game. Oh, it's so good. and it's only in Japanese. We never got it, and it was just crazy. So anyways, he does deep dives, and I found so many cool games through his deep dives, and I really appreciate that he's good enough aesthetically and verbally to talk about any kind of video game, but I kind of appreciate that it's literally just PlayStation 1. So if you're interested in that, I think you'd really enjoy it. There's that. Any thoughts so far?
Sean Johnson, great aesthetics.
Yeah.
They're very long videos, though, so be ready for their deep dives.
They're deep dives, yeah.
He covers, you feel like you've played a game after you watch
Yeah.
Sean Johnson's video about it. So it's that kind of
he usually starts the conversation about the game by showing the game's opening cinematic, which I really appreciate, because at that time, a lot of games were using full motion video for the first time because it was on CD, and there's some fucking just insanely stupid, hilarious opening cinematics and some really dope ones. So anyways, he's great. Cinema Sticks. Cinema Sticks is... I have an issue with the conversations surrounding film on YouTube. You got a lot of people that have like zero experience with making anything, who have very strong opinions, who are basically like, you know, armchair quarterback kind of situations. And so I don't really like discourse about film on YouTube by and large. But Cinema Sticks does this thing that I really appreciate, where I love movies, so I appreciate talking to people about movies. I enjoy watching film. He has an appreciation and just, it's kind of like a joyful analysis of the things that work in movies. And so I think I don't know his background. He seems pretty knowledgeable. I wouldn't say he seems like someone who's been doing it his whole life. Sounds youngish, but I think the observations are really pretty keen. And he's got good enough taste in film where usually he's like breaking down moments from really dope films. And it makes me, sometimes watching his videos, it makes me want to watch the movie, because I'm like, oh yeah, that scene was so well lit or whatever. And then I, really get into it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great little, I mean, he definitely has been studying film his whole life, whether of his own interest or like professionally educationally. Yeah. They're just great little video essays on movies. Mm-hmm. They have interesting subjects usually. They're not really reviews of the movie.
No. They're
it's an essay about
subject.
Something about the film. And that's what sets those videos apart to me.
Yeah. They're concise in a way that I think is always really impressive.
Yeah, great selection of footage. It's a really nice little piece about a movie.
And this sounds really snotty, but he obviously has access to good copies of the films. And I think it's kind of hard to analyze a medium if you're not showing a good copy of the film. So if he's like showing something by Kubrick, he has a nice copy of it to show what's happening. And it's a thing on YouTube where the sound and the video do matter if you're examining something, less if it's like a talking head. All right. Next is Pylin's Kitchen. We've got a couple food ones in a row.
We love Pylin.
Pylin.
We love you, girl.
She is one of the best cooking general YouTube channels I've found, because she's a really good teacher and extremely practical. Yes. Almost like
nothing too fancy. Like
no, but so it's Thai food.
Yeah.
And I think it's called Hot Thai Kitchen, which is really funny. I don't think this is inappropriate to say, but Pylin's very beautiful, but she's a huge nerd. And that's what I really appreciate about her cooking, is that she really is like, she nerds out about Thai food and like how to do it well. And I think she's Canadian, but she's Thai. And so she knows how to cook Thai food.
Yeah.
Every recipe I've ever done of hers was easy to follow and turned out a lot like a good Thai restaurant, because she just knows how to do it. And the beauty of Thai food...
Sure she worked in a Thai... I'm pretty sure she...
I would imagine.
Cooked in a Thai restaurant. I feel like she talks about restaurant when she was at the working in a restaurant. things.
If she didn't, like, her mom was like, the exposure is clearly, it's across like every Thai dish.
Oh yeah,
every standard Thai dish.
No, there's videos of her cooking with her mom, so it's definitely
yeah. And we've been fortunate to go to Thailand, and it's one of those types of food genres that, like, it's very simple, but it's like hard to do great, and so having someone explain it really easily so you can make it at home, she's fun to watch, and you should try one of her recipes. They kick ass.
Hell yeah.
Pailan. The next one is about food, but it's not really about food.
Your recommendation isn't about food?
I don't know. We haven't tried any of his.
We haven't tried any, but it is about food.
Yeah, so it's this guy's channel, Cowboy Kent Rollins.
He's a cowboy.
He's a cowboy cook. Yeah, so he literally he
cooks for cowboys.
Yeah, because there are still, if you didn't know this, not very many now, but even as recent as like 15, 20 years ago, there's still people who drive cattle. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Cowboys. Not like the like Western, but like actual cowboys. And he is their cook. So he's this like cliche Texan cook. But what I really like about him is that he's so enthusiastic and really genuinely knowledgeable, because, again, practicality's sake, he has to cook for all these people out in the middle of nowhere sometimes, right? So his techniques for cooking like anywhere there's
a lot of cast iron skillet stuff,
are pretty advanced, and he's very good. But he also, whenever something turns out good and tastes good, he does this like cowboy dance, and he's just a delightful human being, generally speaking.
He is.
So check it out. I think at worst you'd be like, that was pretty funny, I'm never going to watch it again. But at best you might be like, he's just in my rotation, and sometimes he'll show some dish that I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to make this dish, but what's this guy up to?
It feels like, I never watched any of these, but Cowboy Kent Rollins feels to me like those 90s cook personality TV shows. Like, this is what I imagine Emerald Live felt like, where like you're mostly watching for Cowboy Kent Rollins, because he is quite a character.
He's a character.
He's a delight to watch.
He's an authentic character.
Very unique person.
He's not putting on airs. That's the way.
But you also get to look at really delicious looking like Texas food.
Yeah, like ranch food.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a thing.
Yeah, biscuits and lots of
He made this amazing, hilarious coffee one day. Anyways,
cowboy coffee.
Coffee.
Yeah. It's a fun time. That's what it feels like.
Yeah, he's a fun dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, early Food Network days, or like, they even had those channels on network TV before cable.
Yeah.
Because I am old. Last but not least, I'll put these in the description, by the way. I can at least link to their channels. That much work I can do for you. Also, can I just... Cook and Soul. Cook and Soul is this awesome hip-hop channel where this dude does amazing lo-fi mashups of... He feels most influenced to me by MF Doom. There's definitely some Doom stuff sampled on there, but like... It's one of those things that... It vibes so
I was literally vibing just thinking about Cook and Soul. It's great.
It's just one of those channels that you can so easily deep dive and watch all the videos and be like, oh, this stuff's so good.
The music itself is really good, but then a handful of things he's got set to like other cartoon footage or stuff like that, and it's just so,
and it's like almost
it's the kind of thing. The bar of my dreams has like a dive bar, wooden bar, and like Cook and Soul on a CRT up in the corner.
Yeah,
because it would just be like it would be dope to have on. I know. Don't you want to go to this bar?
You want to come to this bar if we make this bar?
Yeah. It's great.
It's great. If you like hip hop at all, and I say the name MF Doom, and you know what that is, you're gonna like it.
Yeah,
you're gonna like it.
Yeah,
it's really good. So yeah, those are 6 channels that are in our rotation that are just kind of a delight across the board.
Check them out.
Check them out. Throw this channel in there. I will remind people every episode because it actually has help. This is not the show.
This isn't the main show.
This is just us.
Go watch Divergency 911. Well, that's just the segment.
It says episode 1, episode 2. The first one is called Hibernation. The second episode is called To Garden
State One's Self.
It'll make sense if you see them. But we'll be back here. We try to do this every week. So we're going to keep doing it.
Yeah.
And doing it.
Tell us about what's on your mind in the comments or whatever.
Yeah, what's been going on? You got any channels to recommend?
Yeah, drop them.
Drop them.
You got any protective hairstyles to tell me about? Drop them in the comments. Right.
You got any dope CRTs you want to make me break my back on? I might come get them.
Yeah. See ya.
Bye. Peace.
What I'm thinking is what is killing me.